Take plastic bags, cut them on the side. Try to cut as close to the seam as possible, and to maintain the shape, square or rectangular, of the packaging, which helps a little bit with rolling. Now I have one piece that I'm going to wash. These objects can be cut on the seam. And then washed, and some can be pulled apart. Something like this can be pulled apart at the seams carefully so that it can more easily be washed. Fill sink with a little bit of soapy water, and take a scrub brush or your hand and wash it around, rinse off any debris, and then hang it up. Take the pieces that you've gathered and find a colorful area of them. I'm going to choose the red kind of texture here, and I can roll it for start with about a half of an inch, and just start rolling, keeping it tight and in line, rolling with two hands all the way through. Sometimes it's easier to roll the long dimension rather than the short dimension. You could also roll it rather than a flattened log, more like a round log, and then flatten it when you're done. And if you have air at the end, usually you can get it out by either puncturing it slightly or just a little pressure. The biggest thing is you want to make sure that this edge is tucked under, so I like to roll it back once I've determined where the edge is going to be, and actually roll that edge, especially if it's cut or not clean, into the roll. Now I have a roll, and I'm ready to connect it. I use a little clip here, which is helpful, and then if I have to, or if I have one available, it's nice to have a needle nose pliers. Try to show this to you here, and twisting it around. It's maybe a little bit wide, so I'm going to try to kind of tighten it up. And as I go, try to tighten it as well. So I'm tucking in anything that is getting wide. As you work with it, it continues to get wider, so you always have to have some tension on it to convince it to stay in place. And this is a rather thick roll, so it does take a fair amount of finger muscles. Alright, I'm going to let go with this. I have a little roll. I'm going to take a rubber band. They always need to be attached with a rubber band, or secured, I should say, with a rubber band. And that is just about the right dimension that I need. There are also ways to inflate it if you have a very thin material. What I have is a foam that I've cut to about a little under 1 inch actually. So yeah, I'd say more like a ½ inch, 3/4. And I'm taking this thin piece of plastic and wrapping it around the foam. So I'm using the foam kind of as the log starter. And again, tucking it in as I go, rolling. And trying to keep everything tidy as I roll it. Here I'm going to kind of pleat this back so that it doesn't stick out from the edge. And I'm also going to take a clip and secure that, which is helpful. Here I might be able to do this with my fingers more easily, or just as easily. And it's essentially starting the roll, which can be a little tricky, but you can see there's the roll. Starting the roll and then pinching your fingers a little bit so that you can maintain the roll. So this way works pretty well, as long as you can keep some pressure or tension on it. This is probably not going to be quite wide enough when I'm done. So even with that foam, I may need another one of these pieces. So I might look for another blue thin bag that I could put a piece of foam into, just like I did here, and continue the same color and texture and dimension, which might be nice. Here I have a kind of a balloon almost that I can pop with a scissors if needed, or a little poke of any kind. It's okay to have a hole in it. And here, since I only have a little bit, I'm going to tape this. Take a piece of Scotch tape or masking tape. I just want to make sure the tape doesn't show. I'm putting this on, and then I will secure it with a rubber band until I can add more material to the bun. If you're adding a second piece, simply remove the rubber band once you have your second piece. I take another piece of tape and attach that to my second piece or third piece, and I want to try to add them in the direction that I've been rolling. So I put the tape essentially right over where I had the tape and start rolling another piece. So this is a little different glue, a little crinkly. Trying to get that to focus, sorry. And I'm going to take this clip off and hold it to maintain a little tension and the same shape. I don't want it to get too much larger or too much smaller than its initial roll. And this is going to be much closer to the size that I need. I'm going to take a piece of tape because that wants to come off and secure it. Oops. Tighten the shape a little bit, make sure it's right. And you can check your dimensions. They should be about 1/4 tall and about 2/4 in diameter. There. Happy bun making!